We are on a very short shakedown run of a new motorcycle that you'll see later. You've probably seen actually when we were filming some of the...
Looks like we're on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, the Arizona beach. But today we are talking about loadout and specifically food as it pertains to motorcycle and motorcycle camping and adventure riding, right?
Absolutely.
So, as always, Kyle, our subject matter expert, what do you think we should start off in terms of food and how has it kind of played out today?
Well, I want to squash the misconception that just because you're on a motorcycle and you're limited to space, that you can't eat well.
That's true.
People think, oh, I have to eat, MREs or Mountain House or something like that, cup of noodles. I see guys just carrying cans of Spam and stuff like that with them, and that's fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not dogging that at all, but I like to eat good food.
Same, man. Especially if you got to move fast, I get it.
Yeah, and then that kind of food is good for backup for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because it's not always gonna work out. But last night we had some New York strip steaks.
Exactly.
And it's possible. Those types of things like that are possible, especially if you have your trip planned out to where, before you go and make camp, you probably should top off on fuel. A lot of times those towns that you top off on fuel are going to have a little grocery store or a market. You can always stop in there and get whatever you need to get. I mean, you can always, if you don't make steaks, you can make soups or whatever.
Yeah.
That are still, not going to tear your guts up after a while.
True. Yeah. Especially when you're on a motorcycle, the last thing you want is to be
just getting compacted over and over.
Right. Sitting there, with long hauls. So what's interesting about the conversation is I ran something last night that I had bought with this intent, right? To cook some protein or to grill.
I think so, man.
It worked out really well.
Yeah, that grill was cool. I actually hadn't seen that one yet. And I use a lot of MSR products. MSR, they make similar boilers, kind of like a jet boil, and you can get attachments for that for, cooking on pots and pans and whatnot. But this little grill you had was cool because, out here in the desert, there's not a whole lot of wood. And if there is a wood, it's probably not wood you really want to cook on. I mean, you could, but it's going to mess the flavor a little bit, right? So this was a little propane grill that's multi-use that you can put both wood in or use the little sterno, not sterno. How do I say those things?
It's whatever that little
the isopropyl butane.
There you go.
Canisters.
Right.
So it was a neat little grill.
Well, and that's an interesting conversation too. That's appropriate for food. Is I've been on several trips where certain fuels freeze.
Oh yeah.
And the butane ones tend to do a little better, in my opinion, like propane.
Yeah, and there's always going to be the camp that says you should always get a multi-use burner, right, where it can burn gasoline or whatever, and that is great. But at the same time, for me, the little isopropyl butane ones, they're small enough to pack. Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about the mess. They're not going to leak anywhere. And when it comes to my bike, if I'm getting fuel out of there, we're having some major problems. So I want to keep the fuel in the bike as much as possible.
100%. So what we ended up doing is getting steaks, like Kyle said, and we froze them overnight just to maintain them. You can wrap them in, let's say, your puffy jacket if you want to, in a Ziploc bag.
Yeah. And let's be honest, as long as they're sealed out from the air,
exactly,
they're gonna last a while.
Right.
I mean, there's another misconception that meat has to be at
35
freezer degrees or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do a couple of days as long as the air is away from it and it's cool. It's not getting hot over the daytime. That it'll be totally fine.
Yeah. I think the easy answer, me and you even added this to our meal last night, is the Mountain House meals. They're so good, man.
They are good. They are good, and they're a great standalone meal. Mm-hmm. Or in our case, we had beef stroganoff as a side.
And mac, was it chili mac?
Chili mac, yeah. But the freeze dried meals are excellent. One, they're super lightweight. The garbage afterwards is minimal.
Yep.
Really, really easy cleanups. You don't have to do dishes or anything like that. That's kind of my go-to a lot of times if we're on the move, because again, it's easy. You just add hot water, wait 10 minutes, and it's way better than what like an old classic MRE would be or stuff like that. And again, the cleanup, there's virtually none. You have your utensil, and that's about it. And you can use baby wipes to clean that off, stow it away. And Next time you find a garbage, throw your garbage away, and then your loadout gets smaller and smaller as you go.
100%. So we draw heavily in the moto community from backpacking, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Most gear, almost all the gear we use is ultralight backpacking gear. So if REI is a great place to get stuff like this.
Yeah.
Or there's also another website called motocampnerd.com.
Okay.
They're based out of North Carolina, and he's basically done all the work for you. You don't have to go to a website or multiple websites trying to find what you need.
Absolutely.
Everything on his website's been kind of tried and true, and it's just a one-stop shop.
Yeah. So we use MSR for the what is that, for the boiling water kind of thing? I mean, what is the MSR thing called? What's the name brand?
That's the MSR wind burner.
Wind burner. That's it.
And one of the most popular ones would be Jetboil.
Yeah.
And I've used Jetboil for years. I really do like it.
Yeah.
It is fast.
Yeah.
There's a few problems that I found with that though, because it's so fast that you can't simmer with it. So if you want to do if you want to do anything else besides boil water, you have a really hard time with that. They make some attachments that go on top of it to cook, but I've never had very good luck with them.
Gotcha.
What's really neat about the MSR wind burner is that in high winds, it doesn't lose any heat.
Yeah.
So you lose very little heat transfer from the burner to the pot. It also works really well at high elevation. So where I live in North Idaho, there's many times where I'm at 8,000-10,000 feet.
Yeah.
And with those other burners, you turn those on and you can tell you're at high elevation because the
100%.
the flame just fizzles out.
Yes.
Whereas the MSR just rips.
And I agree with you there on the MSR, and would actually, that's going to be my next setup because I have a Jetboil. And I mean, even from a company standpoint, MSR is pro OHV and highway, and
yep. And they're based out of Seattle, Washington, and a lot of their stuff is actually made there in Seattle. So it's made in the U.S.
Cool. I think this is equally important when we're talking about food is coffee. Yes. Having that in a survival situation, you guys have heard Kevin Estelle even talk about this, is so imperative. There's so many psychological benefits. It gets you up in the morning.
Yep.
Like this morning I woke up, I don't know if you heard me, and I was like, time to clear my sinuses.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, those products will get you easy, instant coffee in the morning. I mean, we were sitting out here laughing because it's really a matter of how much luxury do you want in such a confined space, but also in even overlanding in bigger vehicles. And having a cup of coffee out first thing in the morning or a steak at night, man, it doesn't get better than that.
Morale boost too.
Yeah.
So you could have kind of a hard day, say we did sand washes on the way out here for, I don't know, an hour or so. And, if you were on a long trip and you had a rough day, maybe you had a couple of offs, and you get to camp and you know that, man, I'm going to have a steak tonight.
That's probably why I was really loving it, because I was having a hard time in the beginning.
I wasn't going to call you out or anything, dude. I'm just
roll B-roll. I'm like,
some people. No, man, but it does. We, as a culture, we love food. And to be able to have a good meal out in the outdoors, it's unusual.
100%. Yeah. And I guess the last bit to kind of close it out would be like hunting or sourcing your own food. I mean, that's, I guess super primitive, where you don't really need anything. You just set a fire, right?
Right.
And you just put it on the dirt or the rock, whatever.
We've done this many times as well. So there's been times where one of my favorite things to do, up where I live, at least, Idaho is kind of a mecca of fly fishing. Yeah. So we'll find some spots, and I take a Tinkara rod and we'll catch little trout and cook those up, and holy moly. Talk about feeling good.
That's what we're doing next, bro. We're going to go do something like that on motorcycles.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that's it. And unless you can think, tell us about the cup too, because we're talking about space and food and whatnot. And this thing collapses, right? Yeah.
So again, ultralight backpacking. Sea to Summit makes a lot of good gear. So this is a collapsible coffee cup. It's called a cool cup because it's got ridges on it. So when you pour boiling water or whatever in there, you can hold it and it's not going to burn your hands. But it's also, I'm going to do it now because I've got coffee in there, but you can just collapsible and it collapses flat. They also make pots and pans that do that. They make a pot that you can boil water in that does that, as well as plates, cool, and bowls. So
awesome. Well, that was food. We'll move on to the next episode here.
All right. Thanks, guys.